All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started with our weekly options brief. I want to start with some, I was going to say really bad news, but what time is it? Hopefully, well, not hopefully, it's actually kind of good news, but bad news. So yesterday, one of our fellow TGO members, Heed, Marine Hornet guy, brother of mine, called me to tell me that another one of our brothers, fellow TGO member, was shot in Memphis. Shrek, a lot of you know Shrek, just a great fucking dude. There's Shrek right there. There's Shrek. Where's my Top Gun picture? Oh, it's over on the other wall. So Shrek and I went to Top Gun together. That's how long I've known Shrek. 2003. 20 years I've known Shrek. So there's Shrek right there when Matthew and I went up to Beaufort when he was in the F-35 RAG, learning to fly the Joint Strike Fighter. So Shrek got out after his last tour, which was a command of, what was it, VMX 1 or whatever, the experimental squadron out in Yuma. Just a great fucking human being. Went to FedEx and was at a crash pad the other night, sleeping, waiting for a trip. And he was also with the former skipper of MOTS. Now, MOTS is kind of Top Gun for Marines, Marine Air Weapons Tactics School. So him and the skipper of MOTS are in their crash pad. What's a crash pad? Well, airlines pay slave wages for the first year. It's rich airline pilots. Go look at what airline pilots make for the first couple years. It's a disgrace. So everybody kind of gets a crash pad, right? You get just a cheap apartment somewhere because you're only usually sleeping there for a little bit. You get a beat up car to drive around. So apparently Shrek and these other Marine brothers were not in the best part of Memphis. And talking to Heed, they opened up on this place. Automatic machine gun fire. Automatic. What's his name? Gibby? I think that's called. The MOTS skipper hit the floor. Shrek hits the floor. Shrek yells out, "I'm hit." Gibby crawls over on broken glass. Now his hands and knees are all fucked up. Crawls on broken glass to Shrek. And sticks his fucking finger in his shoulder hole to stop the bleeding. Shrek, Marine Hornet guy, Joint Strike Fighter pilot, like I just talked about, was on a FAC tour, a forward air controller tour in Fallujah. In the Battle of Shrek is a ground veteran as much as an air veteran, combat veteran. Could you imagine surviving Fallujah as a Marine to get shot in fucking Memphis? It's an absolute disgrace. So at 9:30 this morning, they were doing surgery on Shrek. They are doing surgery on Shrek. So I guess 9:30 Memphis. So let's give our brother Shrek, fellow TGO member, a little bit of love and some prayers. My God, it could have been worse. This brief could be canceled, and I could be in Memphis today for a memorial service. Could you fucking imagine? Life is short, folks. So my best to Katie and their kids, but he's gonna, God willing, he's gonna be all right. They're gonna have to reconstruct his shoulder. He should be able to get med up and hopefully get back to flying. But unbelievable, man. Yeah, exactly. He spent his life deploying in war zones and he gets shot here. Memphis is a war zone. Exactly, John. Could not be more thrilled that Beetlejuice is gone from Chicago. Still really could give two shits about Chicago because you keep voting for it. I think the dude that has the lead, the school board or whatever he is guy, 36% of the vote is I am a law and order. We're going to bring this shit back. Of course, it's a Democrat, the definition of insanity. Look at our dredges, man. Let me get a hell yeah if you are printing money on your dredges. This was this was free money, man. I love this. Burn, baby, burn. So anyway, Shrek is. I'll let you know. He is going to keep me in the loop. Uh, he went over to clean his place and grab his truck yesterday, and he's like, "Dude, it's a fucking war zone, man." The third guy in the crash pad wasn't there, but he's like, if he was there in his room, that dude would be dead. I mean, that room was completely shot up, and he's like, the one bullet through Shrek's wall was perfect and hit him right in the shoulder. Just one bullet into that room. Fucking animals, man. Who the fuck does that? What type of human being do you have to be to just open up fully automatic where there's other human beings in there? I know you just have to be a regular human being because we can't stand life. Right? You go to some countries now, when you're old, you can kill yourself. You go to other countries like the United States. The Democrats have kind of shut up about this, but abortion up to the minute of birth makes me physically want to vomit. Here's how I know AI is going to be the end of human beings. Here's how AI will destroy Americans or life on this planet. You ready? Because they are just taught what they're programmed. What are they programmed? Remember a couple years ago, it was like national news. Remember we went through this like little flare up of animal, like, you know, some rich guy went to Africa and like shot an elephant. He was a dentist somewhere in like Minnesota, and like people wanted to kill him. Do you remember this? I forget. It was like international news. I'm like, oh, this poor guy. I get it. If you're, I get it. My point being is this: could you imagine being AI and learning this? Humans want to kill humans up to the moment of birth. And if you're the former governor of Virginia, if the baby is accidentally born, I don't know how you're accidentally born, we'll keep it nice and comfortable, and the doctor will consult with the mom. Consult to do what, you fucking Nazi piece of shit? So AI learns that what? Human race loves animals more than their own race. So if I'm programmed to never let harm come to humans, how do we never let harm come to humans? Well, they should never be born. I guarantee you this is going to happen somewhere into the future. I still haven't debriefed everybody on my podcast, on my Iboga journey, but I saw, it was a little weird, to be honest with you. Like I saw my father and then my grandfather, and then it went back in time, and it started to get a little weird because it was like fucking, I don't even know what creatures it was. And then I saw my sons, and then it went forward in time. I got to see I saw my ancestors and what predecessor, whatever. And it got a little creepy the farther it went out into the future. I kind of had to snap out of it. I'm like, it was, I'm not going to say scary, but could you imagine? So sorry I took a lot on this, but this is not when he called me yesterday. I'm like, I did not have this on my 2023 bingo card. Shrek getting shot in Memphis. Ugh, I know some of you know Shrek, so yeah, exactly, David. So not only will AI learn that, wait a minute, a dentist on a Sahara, trip shot an elephant and people wanted to kill him. People went to his dental practice to like kill the guy. And we are allowing children to mutilate their genitals, and we're not going to tell their parents. Why? Because I'm a teacher and I outrank their parents. You're right, man. AI is learning all of this, folks. Oh, John, what's funny is he's like below average out of Shrek. They were living in this crack town crash pad, but guess what? Gibby like crawled over to Shrek. He's like, I got my 45. It was in a gun safe. Here's a perfect example, folks. Shrek was armed. They were armed because they lived in Cracktown. Couldn't get the gun out of the safe because Shrek was all fucked up. He and I we can laugh about it. We're like, what a below average. Ain't no kids in that crash pad, man. If you're in Cracktown in Memphis, you sleep with that thing under your pillow or under your bed. Because Gibby was like, I was going to fucking return fire, man, but the gun was locked up. So anyway, burn S&P 500, burn. Our treads are disgustingly green. All of them. March is coming in like a lion. I told you this in solo Amazon. I told you this the whole way. We're going even lower, man. Through the 50. We're next stop's the 200. I told you this whole confluence of moving averages and an open MACD down here. Look out below. What's keeping this up here? Nothing. So anyway, so prayers up for Shrek. If you know, I mean, he's obviously not responding to text or anything like that. He saw him last night in the emergency room, and he was pretty looped up. So we'll just, I told Heed, I'm dude, I know you guys got to fly trips and stuff. I'll jump in my L-39 and I'll be up in Memphis as soon as I can if you need me. All right. Watching the FBI director on Bret Baier last night on Special Report was a disgrace. The FBI director is a disgrace to this country. I can't answer this. I'm not allowed to. I'm not going to. Who the fuck do you work for? That was the worst interview I've ever seen from an unelected bureaucrat. I hope you either watched that or you've seen the highlights. What an awful American. Their little beehive of FBI, we're holier than thou. How fucking dare you? Who do you think you are? Donald Trump is an idiot. He should have fired Christopher Wray. The FBI needs to go. I would order, as president, I would order the United States Marshal Service to seize the FBI building. Go in there and throw everybody out. You're fired. Disestablish the FBI. Nothing but a partisan hack. Here's, I'm not on an abortion kick, but remember the anti-abortion guy who allegedly got into a shoving match in front of a clinic? Brought up on federal charges. He was arrested with 20 FBI agents. Bret Baier's like, hey, man, nonviolent. These people are 99.9% of the time allowed to turn themselves in. I can't, that's the law. Seriously? It's like Roger Stone in Fort Lauderdale. 20 FBI agents. Oh, CNN's here. I wonder how they knew this was going to happen. And Broward Sheriff's Office, which I'm on the advisory council, has sheriff's boats in the water. He's a fucking 60-year-old dude with no weapons and his invalid wife. You guys paying attention? Whether it's the IRS or the FBI, are weaponized against half of this country. I'm rambling about this because last night he's like, well, the FBI for a while has kind of believed that. Anybody get an apology from the New York Times yet, or Twitter, or Facebook, or any of these other people? Remember, the COVID leak theory from a lab is racist. It's Donald Trump. All of these people were fucking wrong. Rachel Maddow. They wouldn't even allow you to say this. Is it a possibility? No, you're a racist. You're anti-American. You can see their faces and the veins in their forehead because it became an issue of what? Left and right. Well, Trump said it. We will say the exact opposite. These are the people that are wrong with this country. Is it possible it came from the only level 4 weapons lab in China? No, it's not even physically possible. Anthony Fauci should be prosecuted. He's a liar. He's committed perjury repeatedly. But anyway, folks, this is insanity. And I am furious about this. This has impacted my business, folks. I mean, we all, if you were here since the COVID crash, you printed money. We were right. They were wrong. But I had a Twitter account with like 6, 7, 8,000 followers or whatever. Gone. Top Gun options. I can't advertise on Facebook. Still, my account's restricted for telling the truth. That's literally fascism. So the people who put the word anti in front of what they do are actually not anti. Antifa is fa. They're fucking fascist. And so are the Democrats. I'm telling you, man, this thing is fracturing. The United States of America is nothing but, it's the Balkans. We are balkanized. New England, the left coast, and then the rest of America. You look at an electoral map, it's blue in the Northeast, blue like out in California, Oregon, and maybe Washington, and the rest of the country. But you even say something like that, and you're I'm anti-American. Shrek's anti-American. Shrek makes me look like a liberal. We're anti-American. Men and women who serve their country. Iran can make fissile material for a bomb in about 12 days. I want that to sink in. While U.S. officials say Iran has grown closer to producing, they do not believe it has mastered it to actually build the bomb. How about this? How about we assume they do? And isn't it funny? Let's go back to this. John Kirby's a piece of shit. He was a Blue Angel. He was the PAO, the Public Affairs Officer. But Admiral Kirby is a piece of shit. Well, there's no consensus among our intel agencies. So let me get this straight. Like Donald Trump was a Russian plant. You guys had consensus on that. But the lag, the intel agencies kind of don't know where this came from. It killed millions of Americans, allegedly. And this isn't the number one priority to figure out what the fuck happened. Did you see what happened yesterday at the White House as well? The gain of function research question, Biden still supports it. We need to stop the next pandemic by creating more pandemics. Okay. Interesting. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want this to sink in, that headline. I want you to read that. We're in a live trade brief. I'm having my coffee. I'm ranting. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think is going on in Israel right now in the planning cell of their Pentagon? Do you all think that they're having coffee in the Israeli Pentagon going, another day at work? Or do you think something's going on? I'm telling you, folks, you need some 3, 6, 9 month out treads or hedges. I would go out to the summer and buy fucking disaster puts. The days of a Stuxnet virus, the days of killing a random Iranian scientist are over. Israel has said this all along, haven't they? We can only kill so many scientists, they replace them. We can only infect the computer systems before they... Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said Iran will never get a nuclear weapon. So what do we think here? Anyway, I'm telling you, man, my job is a briefer. We'll talk about it in a couple minutes. You gotta get ready for this, folks. You got it, Ryan. I'm telling you, folks, I know for a fact what's going on. And I have buddies. Well, he's not there. I used to have a buddy. He's like, his indicator of an attack was the Israelis stopped talking, and then he stopped talking to me. And then within days, I nailed a couple of these big ones, especially under the Trump one. He's like, dude, when the Israelis go quiet at CENTCOM or wherever it was, get ready. That's a good indicator. European anti-war protests grow. Oh, of NATO versus Russia spiral. So, Paris starting to protest. Oh, I'm not seeing this in America. I'm seeing people like me get attacked for saying, hey, why don't we kind of do a little Rodney King? Can't we all get along? Nope. We don't see this in America. Italy, Germany. So, and isn't it interesting, folks, that the same fascist in this country who grew up in the 60s and 70s, hating the government and Richard Nixon and war and drug companies and capitalism are now the exact fucking opposite. You do what the government says. You inject this into your body. You wear that mask. We love going to war. Who are these people? Maybe I'm the one now dropping LSD and acid and anti-war, anti-Pfizer and everybody. I am the new Democrat. That's it. What's today's date? March 1st at 10:20 in the morning, Edward Matthew Buckley is running for president of the United States as a Democrat. I'm a new Democrat. Oh, and by the way, they used to be pro-life because a lot of them were Catholic. Seeing Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi with ashes on their forehead last week, supporting abortion up to the moment of birth, it was the mark of the fucking devil. It's the mark of Satan. When you do the medicine and you see what a soul is, I'm telling you, man. Anyway, so isn't it interesting that the anti-war left in this country is now become the anti-war right? Western leaders privately admit Ukraine can't win the war, but it doesn't matter. We're still going to sprinkle hundreds of billions of dollars all over that country as veterans can't find health. Oh, breaking news. Next week, I am testifying with not only Tim Ferriss, but Rick Doblin. I met Rick before at the Vets Gala in November a couple years ago. Great dude, but I'm going to be with Rick Doblin, Jesse Gould from Heroic Cards, Tim Ferriss, and Earl Blumenauer. I don't know. Yeah, so cool stuff. Eric, I'm going to find out if it's live streamed or what's going on. I'm still waiting for the details. Drone attacked Russia from all sides. No, Wiz. This is a defensive war. We are just trying to repel. Oh, we're not. No, we're not. Russia repels 10 drones over Crimea as Kyiv denies it's behind these attacks. It's clearly the Russians bombing Crimea with Ukrainian drones. This is how fucking stupid they think you are. So they use the words false flag when it suits them, and then when you kind of use it, it's you're crazy. Who told you we blew up the Nord Stream pipeline? Me. The damn Prime Minister of Great Britain for 2 days, her phone was hacked. Dear Anthony Blinken, Secretary of State, love you, and by the way, it's done. Anthony Blinken at a microphone a couple hours later. The pipeline blew up. That's awesome for us because Europe ain't, it's awful. So anyway, Kyiv denies it's drone striking Crimea. Isn't it incredible the disinformation or the information that goes on that's completely slanted? There is no such thing as disinformation. There's only information. If you don't agree with it, that's on you. So I have to clean that up because I blow people apart on social media all the time. That's disinformation. No, it's not. There is only information. If you don't agree with it or think it's wrong, that's on you. So anyway, folks, this isn't good. This isn't a tough prediction. This is a duh out of whiz. We will look back on this and be completely embarrassed. Joe Biden gallivanting around Ukraine. Remember the air raid sirens? Oh, yeah, there wasn't. That was just kind of for TV. Oh, isn't it weird how like two presidents and air raid sirens go off and nobody's like fucking scrambling or running to a bunker? That's because there wasn't an air raid. We just kind of did that because, optics. People are vomiting and getting deathly ill in Ohio from a chemical. Did you see the picture of that chemical explosion? It looked like a mushroom cloud went off. Looked like a nuclear blast from that train derailment of black in the sky. Joe Biden, Ukraine. We will look back on this period when we just sprinkled fucking weapons all. Did you see the deputy secretary whatever get ripped apart? Can you assure the American people that all of these weapons are going exactly where they're supposed to? Well, it's a war zone, Congressman. We just don't know where all of this shit goes. That's fucking awesome. So these weapons could be used to kill Americans. The Pentagon, which can't find $2 trillion in money and equipment. Our own Pentagon. We're just sprinkling shit all over Ukraine. I told you 6 months ago we saw a report on the Ukrainian black market. What was it? 10, 20% of what we send gets to the front lines. They were interviewing Ukrainian soldiers. That shut down in our media pretty quick, didn't it? These frontline Ukrainian soldiers are like, look at our shit. We don't get any of this stuff. Oh, that's weird. Anyway, what came out at 10 that was awful. Let's go look. Something came out. Oh, the ISMs? Ooh, 43. It wasn't that bad. Construction spending. Oh, there was a lot at, wow, construction spending. Yeah. I mean, this wasn't, that's the final PMI is a miss, but I mean, well. Again, folks, I mean, you can't, charts don't lie, men do. There's Joe Biden's presidency. So, I mean, that makes sense that the SPX bounced a little bit. We're just seeing just shitty macroeconomic data, folks. So we are, guys, we're in this bizarro world of what? Fed's inflation's just too high, folks. Before the election, we're going to raise that number, obviously, to 3%, so we can stop. You're all going to keep burning to death from inflation, but politically, Joe Biden and Jean-Claude Van Damme and Cackle McHarris can get to a microphone and go, no, yeah. Our inflation target of 2% is increasing to 3% because of inflation, right? 2% is an old number. This is for modern times. I guarantee you, folks, our inflation number is going to be inflated. How many of you printed money on Target? You're welcome. Look at what Target did since yesterday. I told you, folks. Look at that. Gap open, sell. Everybody who got into Target yesterday made max profit on everything. You're welcome. That was probably, between the trades I kept trying to fire, that's about $6,000 in Target trades I never got filled on. Doesn't matter. I didn't get filled. A lot of you guys did, though. So there was a bunch of folks over here in the Wesley, I think Andrew up here. There's a bunch. Arrow was doing some great work with Target, and I know the Max Afterburner folks were doing some good Target work as well. I didn't, but that's the way things go, man. Yeah, there was a problem yesterday with GroupMe. It was weird. I couldn't get in. It was weird. There was some weird shit going on internet-wise, but we got in. But anyway, good trading out of Target. Brad, Arrows, and yeah. And a quick reminder to the Lifetime folks: Arrow gets a gold star because she's staying in both. So, little subtle reminder to our 212 Lifetime members. I mean, you still have access. There's some good folks over here, man. Wesley and all these folks. Jim, what's his name? They're Gabriel. So if you have some time, Max Afterburner people, show your sister squadron some love too. Okay? If you can go drop some trades in there or some of your other stuff, remember you have access. You're a Lifetime member. You have access to everything. This is why it's a great deal to be in Lifetime. You get the roost, the walk of the what? I don't even know what I'm saying. Anyway, I was meandering about macroeconomic data. We are in shit. I just read a report this morning after getting back from yoga. SoCal housing market down 48% year over year. This time last year, again, you guys know my joke when I called the lady in Aspen and COVID. Let me know when that mansion's $5 million. It's 10 right now. She called me. I'm like, yay. I told you. She's like, no, it's 20. I'm like, son of a bitch. Got a call recently. No, it's a great time to buy in Aspen. I'm like, come on, lady. We've been doing this dance for 3 years now. It's funny. I'd like that because it's a good barometer. She's like, no, I mean, there are some reductions. I'm like, yeah, a reduction from 20 back down to 15 or 10 ain't the whiz fighter. But I'm speaking this into existence. We will have the No Fallen Heroes Aspen Institute of Healing. Say it with me. Let's do it. Because psilocybin, Oregon and Colorado are blazing the path here. Not a big Ron DeSantis fan if he is not going to get on board with psychedelics and healing at least veterans. You're a Navy dude, Ron. You're lagging. You're stuck in lag. Step it up. U.S. bankruptcy filings surge at the fastest pace since 2009. Anybody remember? 2009. I seem to remember that. I was in the Board of Trade. ladies and gentlemen, this is not good. I'm telling you, the cracks are really starting to show. I've never been here, folks. Charlie Munger, the two old guys from the Muppet Show, him and Warren Buffett sitting up in the balcony, they've never traded in this market. This is why I could not be more thrilled with our performance, especially last year. I was going down memory lane the other day, looking at like 2, 3, 4 years back in our trades and stuff. I'd have long call diagonals or synthetic stock on JP Morgan or a CSX, and it just what a different time, folks. This is insanity, right? Let me just bring up SPX real quick and do our standard 5-year look. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Tarjay. Everybody's a genius when. This is what cracks me up. Well, this is COVID. Let me do 10-year. Anybody see a fucking trend? This is nothing but QE, folks. This is the Federal Reserve propping up capitalism. And then this is the Federal Reserve really propping up capitalism. But folks, it ain't everybody is a genius back here. There were some years, COVID, I think 2.2 million in profitable trades, or close to 2.5. This, ladies and gentlemen, I am absolutely going to strain my arm, patting me on the back for the past 1.5 years, folks, because this is not easy. This is trading. This is not investing. This is not straight bottom left to top right market. This is exactly, it's a slinky, man. This looks like a Charlie Brown hairline or a Homer Simpson hairline, the M's. So, I like this. And this is, again, shameless plug. You want to be in Lifetime or you want to be in the Hunters, because this is a tactical. This is not, I'm long. Personally, I got Amazon and I have psychedelics. But you can't, when I look, as an American and an optimist, I want to put a smile on my face. We got 2 more years left of Joe Biden, folks. He's running again. Fucking yeah! Are you kidding me? So this, I'd love to be happy and smile and shit like that about the future, but it ain't bright, man. Iran having enough fissile material for a nuclear weapon in a 1.5 weeks. Raging inflation, a nuclear power kind of at a draw in a war. And they said, yeah, we might be at a draw right now. And by the way, if you counterpunch hard and we're losing, we're going to level your fucking country. What? Oh, and on the other side of the globe, China saying, if you even intervene in Taiwan, folks, I've seen the war game stuff, man. You ready for this? I think I shared this with you all. I Google it. I think we lost like 3 carrier battle groups, folks. The Chinese are fucking smart, man. They have killer satellites that shadow our satellites. This thing, the first shot in a war with China ain't going to be a bullet. It's going to be a keystroke. These will be gone. The global GPS system. Do you know that every day at noon on board every naval vessel, you can go up to the nav bridge and look at what? And you can see the navigator or whoever using a sextant. GPS gone. Aircraft carriers gone. They have these hypersonic carrier killers. We can shoot those down. Remember when some young guy was launching missiles, ballistic missiles over Japan? And Trump's like, what are we doing? Shoot them down. Japan has Aegis cruisers. We gave them. Shoot them? Mr. President, we don't know if these SM2 or SM2s? SM1s, whatever. The SM2s can shoot those things down. That's their fucking job. Well, yeah, we don't. If we don't hit it, then it's really embarrassing. So we're not going to know until combat, when real nukes are flying, with the success rate. I would have loved. I'm not Donald Trump. I served in the military and I'm a businessman. I would love to be president because I'd be like, fucking shoot that shit down. And if they don't work, Raytheon, I'm getting my money back. You're fired. Yeah, we don't know if these weapons work. Oh, that's great. Why do I pay you? Now I get, man, there's a little bit of slippage, but it's like the Japanese make shit to survive forever. We in America, oh, my refrigerator's broken. It's brand new. Yeah, we don't build things to last. Ryan, quantity has a quality of its own. Okay. And we talked about home prices tumbling. So, folks, the macroeconomic data are awful. If I were you, I'm not, I'm me. Our treads are looking good. We put these on yesterday, I believe. They're already looking great. Hey, month to date, we're up $1,000. It's March 1st. So treads are good. Does everybody have their treads on? I think we got another big leg down in the seesaw here. This is the trend, folks. Does everybody got their treads on? And we did this real quick yesterday. What time is it? 10:36. I want to keep weekly options to 30 minutes, but I want to look at one more. Let's look at another trade. Everybody's got their treads on. Good. And they're doing good. They're printing money. I would, right now, you don't have to do this, but we can get in and out of them in a second. 3,800. Remember like 3,800ville back here in the December kind of ain't no Christmas rally there. That was, remember level December? Wasn't that weird? I'm like, and I drew this. I'm like, it's either going to do that or that. And it did that. I mean, that was a binary choice, and it did the exact opposite. I would go out at least 6 months, folks. Now, I'm going to clear this up right now. In the world of options, you can do what? The exact opposite. If you just listen to 37 minutes of my brief and go, dude, this guy's fucking nuts, that's going to happen. Do the exact opposite of everything that I do. That's what makes a market. Because there are people either in this brief or in the market on the other side of your trades. Wiz has SPX treads on. Is he insane? The economy's great. Inflation's coming in. The debt ceiling's going to be fixed. Israel and Iran ain't going to blow up. There'll be peace in Ukraine, or Russia's going to lose. And China peacefully takes back Taiwan. You're an idiot. Great. I'll see you at the merge, and let's see who makes money. Pretty damn good with this shit. Just ask me. So I haven't done this in a while. I would fly out into the future, folks, and get some SPX on at 3,800. Bob, yeah, you can look at the RUT. I mean, let's just compare them. RUT is the Russell. Let's take a look at like a 2-year chart. Let's compare SPX. Let's just take a look. I'm an SPX guy. Obviously, the Russell 2000 looks at 2,000 names. The S&P 500 looks at 500 names. So the SPX looks like it's, I mean, they all look kind of similar moves here, don't they? Look at that. It's just this up here. The Russell's only down 4, whereas, 18 in this time frame. So I think, Bob, just based on this, I think, we might. But as the economy kind of gets worse and implodes, Bob, you would think. I don't know why you can't close this thing. There you go. I'm an SPX guy, but Bob, yeah, if you trade the RUT, it's, I mean, yeah. So, 3,800, folks, is December-ish, right? And that's a distinct possibility. We're at 3,960. Maybe we even go lower. I'd go out to June, folks, for some disaster shit. Don't do this if you're like, that's not going to happen, then don't do it. What's the bottom here? 3,600? Let's even just go look at 3,600s. And you can dogfight this. So let's talk about this. Let's go June. Let's go to the end of June. Let's get rid of the April. Let's get rid of that one. June. 121. Yeah. Yeah, you know, Bob, that's a great way to look at it. He's right. The SPX had more gains than the rut. But in a shitty, slowing economy, bankruptcies, housing, auto loans, consumer debt, I can ripple off 9 different areas of the economy that suck right now that the Russell will get over destroyed. So, yeah, I like the way you think. So, June, folks, what did I say? 38? No. 30. Hang on. 3,600. And remember, you can use SPY if the SPX is a little too expensive for you. So we could do like a 3,600 puts, right? You could buy one 3,600 put. It's $5,000. So if that's a little rich for you, go use SPY and drop a 0. It would be 360. Okay, let me just do that real quick. So SPY, it would be 360. See right down here? 360. So you'd buy you could buy more puts, obviously. Let's just do it. Buy the 360s for $602. Okay. So again, not your tax attorney. I'm not your accountant. I don't play one on TV, but there's different tax treatment between SPY and SPX. If you can trade the index over an ETF, you trade the index over an ETF. Everybody give me a vertical head nod. Really, Mike? That's a lot. That's some big open interest. Let's talk about dogfighting this, however. Let's go down to the 3,600. And folks, again, I want to say this is an absolute hedgish, tredgish. I don't know because this expires in June. Between now and June, Armageddon could happen. This is an Armageddon trade. Okay? And after me briefing everything that I've briefed so far, it's fucking smart. I've been infirm that this is how you think. Hey, man, go out a year and buy some of those. Okay, man, and put them in your safety deposit box and forget about it. We won't, because we're going to do what? Maybe we dogfight. Maybe we sell a 3,550 or a 3,500. Let's just go $100 wide out into the future. Okay. So instead of spending whatever that was, $5,000 for one put, we can sell a lower strike put. And now look, now we're only coming out of pocket $1,400. This is a very wide, bear put spread. Okay. So we could actually go up in a couple contracts, maybe 3 or 4. 4. I'm going to do 4. Okay. Max potential loss is $5,800. Max potential gain is $34,000. Now, clearly, that's in these type of trades, I don't look at percentages. I look at the last 43 minutes of this brief and go, this is why people are like, look, those are low percentage trades. I'm like, it's an instrument in my cockpit. Probability is over here. And it ain't a big gauge in my cockpit. It is a gauge. If I was in a joint strike fighter like Shrek flew, they wouldn't even show me what it looks like because the jet would be like, yeah, that's kind of a non-important instrument right now. So risking 58 to potentially make $34,000. Let me grab a screenshot of this, and then I'm going to talk about dogfighting. Sorry, I went way late in this weekly options brief, but that's the way things work. File, save as, SPX 31. Why is Cody and Daniel Carcillo calling me? Okay. So it's a debit spread, bear put spread. Before you even ask, yeah, folks, if you think, let me answer this before you even ask it. You could do what? SPX 3-1 metric. Here's what you could also do in addition of this trade, right? Is, well, Wiz, you went out to here with that spread. You did the 3,600, whatever it was, down here, right? Check this out. So the market has a lot of room to do all sorts of shit. If you believe in this spread down here, Wiz, between now and June, we could see some massive downside. March, April, May, June. It's only 4 months. What could you also do to offset the cost of that debit? The same thing we did yesterday in the primary brief. Well, Wiz, I don't think. There you go, Bob. Bob already mapped it out. Maybe, it's, you know what? Yeah, 40, yeah, something like that. The 4,200, maybe 4,300. So this bear call spread up here pays for the bear put spread. Okay. But again, you need to be pretty damn sure that this ain't going to happen. Because if that happens, not only does the bear call spread lose money, the bear put spread loses money. So because we're short on time, let's at least do the somewhat half pregnant. Let's do the bear put spread. Okay? Because I want to talk about what? I want to talk about, first of all, let's place the trade. I want to talk about dogfighting. So, because this is especially that far out into the future, we can dogfight the heck out of this. Maybe. Let me drop this in. What does dog fighting mean? It means we can, let me draw it out here. Let me use this as an example. So let's just let me grab a pen. What was that? Down here. We sold the 3,600s, right? So we sold the 3,600s and we bought the 3,500s. So let's say that, oh, no, we bought that and sold that. Sorry, that's backwards. So let's say Wiz is wrong and all of a sudden this happens for whatever reason. But you still want to have this trudge on all the way out here. If this happens, the market has to rip your face off rally. What happens to these short calls? They make money. What happens to the long puts? They're losing money, obviously, because the market's going up. But if your commit criteria for getting into this between now and June, the world could end. If it does not change, you can dogfight. Why don't you close those 3,500 short puts and take some profit? Because if your commit criteria didn't change, what happens? Well, that was just a whatever rally, and I was right. Here comes Armageddon. When the market starts going down again, what do? You re-enter the short. You re-enter the short puts. And then if this happens again, you exit them. If that happens, so folks, this is called dogfighting. With the ups and downs of this market type of thing, and we are kind of in this chop where, I mean, look at this. Down, up, down, up, down. You can get in and out of the short puts. That's called dogfighting. You cannot get in and out of the long puts. Why? We're long the 3,600s. We're short the 3,500s, folks. If, hey, Wiz, the market's imploding and my long puts are printing money, I want to close them. Kid nailed it. You can't do that because these would be naked puts. Naked is usually good. This is bad naked. You can't do that. I mean, there's a way you could do it. You could buy some lower strike puts under that one. But now we're talking, now this is, when you go to options cocktail parties, Options Cocktail. I was the host of that show. It was great. You go to options cocktail parties. That's when all the real smart booger eater options. Well, you could do another. I'm like, okay, man. Caveman. I like making money like this. Does everybody understand the concept of a dogfight? It's easier when you have it on to see it. Oh, man, my bear put spread, quote, is losing money because the market's going up. Well, the spread might, but look at the individual leg. Look at the 3,500 short put. Oh, man, it's printing money. Close it. Yeah, but my long put's losing money. Do you think we're going to implode again? Yeah. Then the long put will start to be green again, and then you re-enter the short put. So this will be the poor man, if you're not in Lifetime or the Hunters, this will be our 6-month dogfight experiment. And I am filled right here. Okay? So this is in the weekly options portfolio. I will be a dogfighter of this spread out into the future. Maybe. I mean, between now and this thing expiring, March could be a shit show and just the market implode and we get out of it, right? So, all right, let me scroll up and look at some questions since I wasn't blowing you off. Rick, would you consider having short have a closer expiration? I'm not sure the wording on that, Rick. I'm just going out to June because looking at the Iran stuff, the Ukraine, the next 3 to 4 months, you ready? Between now and June, the next 3 to 4 months, shit is either going to get fixed or it's going to break. The economy is either going to break. I think it's broken right now. Ukraine is either going to break. I think it's almost close to breaking. And Iran, Israel might happen. This is, folks, I've never seen this in my career. I was early. I remember under Obama hearing about Israel was going to strike Iran. That's when Barry Sorrento, Barack Hussein Obama, promised Netanyahu, I'll give you the bunker busters. Don't do this shit before my election. I got you. Okay. And we didn't. Set Israel relations back to day one. Trump came in, moved the capital or the embassy to Jerusalem, pissed off a lot of people. We were back. Now Netanyahu doesn't give a shit about Joe Biden. So something's going to happen. So you could bring this in if that's what you're asking, Rick, closer expiration, but we're doing both. We're kind of doing this right here. I have kind of like quote unquote front month treads we got working, and we got back month. Right? Bob, I can do both. You can do both, man. I mean, I'm not doing a disservice to you all. I just don't. This is a whites of their eye moment with the VIX, folks. I mean, if you're late to a VIX, you got to be Johnny on the spot. We've been in live trade briefs where breaking news, XYZ, VIX is up 15, 20%. I'm like, whoa. So I just can't believe, well, no, I can. Remember, folks, the volatility index is not the volatility index. It's the uncertainty index. Why is the VIX at 21? Because of the great brief I've given today. It's known. Everything I've briefed you on, except some stuff I hear from my folks in my network, is known. That's why the VIX is down here, folks. If you're new to options trading, you might be frustrated. Like, I don't get it. The world's ending, and the VIX is at 21. People in the market know the world's ending. However, get ready. I feel safe right now. I can sleep at night. I'll probably put one of that June one on in mine, or maybe even both Susie and my personal accounts. I can sleep. I can know when I go to bed, if I wake up and the futures are down 1,000 points, my long Amazon, my long psychedelics will get kicked in the teeth, but I got some nice protection here. The VIX is a separate issue. This is it's so lulled into complacency right here that I almost don't want to get long the VIX because, I'd get long the VIX right now as a, quote, hedge, but I already have an SPX on. Long answer to your short question. The only time I would really go and grab some VIX is, because this thing's with me at all times. I'd wait until I see the whites of their eyes. Okay, so long answer, short rambling. Daniel Carcillo, call me ASAP, bud. All right, guys, he never says that, so I got to call Daniel. All right, good brief. I'll text and email this out to the weekly options folks. It's technically not a weekly options trade, but we need this on. We kind of did some of that stuff yesterday. A lot of SPX going on right now, but folks, listen to me. I already told you why I'm doing this stuff. This isn't CSX, JP Morgan, the old days. You change your tactics as the battlefield changes, man. We just don't stick with the same shit because I think things are breaking. I love being here because we can make money as things are breaking. I don't like things breaking. I don't like people suffering. I don't like any of this stuff. I just don't like any of it. So, all right, guys, I got to go. Let me call. I don't know what's going on. Cody called me, then Daniel called me, so something's up. But, all right, guys, I'll get the replay posted here shortly. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. Fights on. Namaste and Basi. I will see you guys tomorrow.